was built at the back of migrants. For us as black people, not obviously at the time, most of the time not treated as citizens, but this country was built at the back of migrants. And I've been very clear around this particular matter, to say we want the migrants to continue coming into this country to come and add value. But we cannot obviously afford a situation where we have criminality as part of this.
Ultimately, Mr. Mayor, that's what we had on your city in Town. That's what we had. We had criminality for over an extended period of days. Where do you think the failings are?
Well, as I've said to you, the failings...
Apportion some blame to yourself as well.
No, absolutely not. Unless, if you want to really blame it, then you must blame our constitutional framework, because our constitution is very clear around people being documented as soon as they arrive in South Africa, if they ever arrive here without having any documentation. Firstly, the constitution is clear around people coming into the country legally. Constitution is very clear around people when they're here respecting our laws. And for some reason, if people are running away from persecution from their countries, they must be immediately be documented. If obviously we are saying, if anybody feels there's something wrong with what I'm articulating, then they must change the constitution and obviously really then bring in a new interpretation. And we will abide by what our constitution says. But right now, if you want to really blame me, then I think then we must put the blame on the authors of our constitution.
Mr. Mayor, you say in this latest opinion piece that you penned that you are not xenophobic. It left me wondering, how do you know that?
Well, for me, calling on people of the world to come to South Africa, or we welcome people of the world to come to South Africa, how can I be xenophobic? What I want is the rule of law. So there's a difference between, in fact, for me, people who are advocating for lawlessness are people who are xenophobic, because what they do, they encourage chaos in the country.
What do you say about the loss of life in your city and the rampant destruction? And
well, it is for that reason 2-3 weeks ago when we had the recent outbreaks, I actually wrote to the Premier of the province requesting him to engage national government to bring in the army, because I felt there's a need for us to really protect our residents, including our foreign nationals.
When you leave the Johannesburg shores, as it were, do you get accused of being xenophobic elsewhere on the continent?
Oh, it's never been. There's not over the last 3 years that I've been in government, I've hosted African diplomats every single year. I bring them in. First, I address all of them in Tshwane, and every year for the last 2 years, I bring them here. We spend a couple of hours with them. I take them through the city's plan, including obviously the challenges that we are facing. So I engage our diplomats, the African, the Europeans, Americans, and so forth. So I engage people of the world, because we want investments, we want the human capital in this country to assist us in growing our economy in our country.
The president has started offering his apologies. He started this weekend at the memorial service of former Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe. And today he extended another apology to Nigeria. Do you feel you have something to apologize for?
No, there's nothing for me to apologize about. I think we have the responsibility to get the president and to get him to get Home Affairs to do something about the documentation.
But this is your city, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Where these things happen.
Yes. But what do you tell me, what would you expect me to really apologize for? It is unfortunate what has happened, but it has happened. For me, in fact, I don't regard this as an accident. It was something bound to really happen. When you let a country operate without laws, this is ultimately what you get. And I think I don't really see the reason why one have to apologize.